thought we would film a Q&A. I hope my audio is good and I hope you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully you don't hear too much of the car rumbling. I know sometimes that happens when I vlog in the car. But we have a ton of questions for Taylor and I that we're going to go through, and hopefully it will help you guys get to know us better. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any more questions for us. Let's just jump right into like the big question, and then we'll kind of go from there. There are a couple fun ones in here. So the first question that somebody asked us is, how is marriage after having a baby? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So I think that I would say that marriage is good. I would say that we've had a good adjustment. I think it's been really fun getting to have a baby and do all that fun newborn stuff. I think that the biggest difference has been just like redoing how we help each other out, because having a dog is very fun and it does kind of get you used to taking care of something else rather than yourself. But our dog's 2 now, so he's like old and he just does whatever he wants now. Reestablishing that, like, oh, can you help me do this, or oh, can you help me do this, that I think has been probably the biggest change. But I would say that it's been good overall.
Yeah, I would say it's been good too. I think the hardest part for me has been not annoying Sage with like dumb questions or doing something a little bit different than I used to. So I've been trying to navigate making sure I'm doing things that are going to be helpful and beneficial to her, and just kind of reiterating what she said. I think it's been good overall.
Okay, so next question. If you had to live in another state, where would you live?
Well, with the housing market, strictly for the weather, it's hard not to say California.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is also interesting. I think living in Hawaii for a year or so would be fun. And lately, I've thought it would be fun to live in New York for a little bit and just get to experience that big city life.
I think California is probably my like very top one for like the same reasons. But I think then I bounce back between some of these other states. I think I'm very like West Coast. Like I don't really think I would go so far east.
Yeah.
But I would probably say like maybe Washington or Oregon or Arizona, like somewhere of those states. I mean, I would easily live in Colorado because that just feels close to Utah and it's like fairly similar.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I just love Utah, so it's hard for me to feel like I want to move out of Utah, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I'm a product manager for a company in Utah called KSL Classifieds. We're a local marketplace here in Utah and Idaho, and we work a lot with car dealers, RV dealers, realtors, power sports dealers, all the companies here in Utah hiring. We have a jobs place, and then all of the service providers in Utah too. We kind of are a one-stop shop for anything you could ever need in Utah or the surrounding states.
So, but specifically, he's a product manager for that site. Right, next question. What's the best thing about having a baby?
The smiles. It's got to be the smiles. And just like, he's starting to smile at us, which is really fun.
Him recognizing us and starting to see who, like, that we're his mom and dad and that we're there all the time and that we love him and he's smiling, that's probably the best so far. How many kids do you want? And I feel like I'm gonna go first with this question after now having a baby. I think I'm gonna still stick with our original number of 4. I hope that we can have 4. It really just kind of depends at this point on my health and how the next pregnancies go. Would you agree?
Yeah, I still want 4.
Yeah. So 4 would be really cool. Okay, next question is for me. Would you try for a VBAC? So if you guys don't know, I had a C-section, and so a VBAC is a vaginal birth after C-section. So yes, I would try for a VBAC, and that's what I'm hoping to do with the next baby. How do your parenting styles differ? And I feel like we maybe haven't gotten into this too much yet since Wesley's still like a baby, but how would you say that they differ, babe?
Honestly, not a ton. I feel like we had a lot of conversations before Wesley was born about how we wanted to parent and what we wanted to do and what we wanted certain situations to look like. And I feel like for the most part, we're pretty much on the same page. I can't even think of instances where we've been on a different page.
Yeah. Okay, next question is, what is your favorite TV show you guys have watched together?
Okay, for me, this answer is not a single TV show. It's a handful of shows.
Okay.
OG is Friends for us. That's a show we were watching while we were dating and engaged. And we kind of just worked our way through the series, and we love quoting that. My older sister loves that show, so we always talk to her about it. Like, it's just the OG, and it's the show we love. But
good answer.
We've watched a lot of dramas together and a lot of sitcoms, and pretty much whatever we're watching is my favorite to watch. Like,
that's true.
I'll always go back and watch what we're watching again. I don't feel like we've watched a series where I'm kind of just like, I'm never gonna watch that again.
That's a good answer. I think that I'd probably say the same. I think that Friends was probably by far the best. I probably should like make just like a little list and just keep it out there for people, like best shows that we've watched.
Chills.
So you guys can watch them, because I feel like everybody gets to that point where they're like, oh shoot, we don't have anything to watch. How do you manage your finances? Do you have a joint bank account? Yes, we do. We have a joint bank account. We set up our bank account together when we got married. And then as far as how do we manage our finances, we have a savings account, and we try to put quite a bit into our savings account. We also pay 10% to our church. So we do pay a tithing. We have a retirement for him, a Roth IRA for me, and that's kind of how we keep our money. And then it's just, as far as spending, we have like a basic budget that we like to stick to, and we just allot a certain amount for groceries or household items or things like that. And now that I'm not working, we're managing that a little bit better and really paying attention to where we're spending our money. Are you still in couples therapy? So if you guys haven't watched, we actually have a Q&A from almost 2 years ago now. I'll link that if you guys want to go watch that one. But we're actually not still in couples therapy. We stopped going to therapy right before the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would 100% recommend therapy to anybody who is planning on getting married, newly married, been married for 50 years. Like, it's just a good opportunity to talk to your spouse and go over some of those things that are hard in any relationship with a mediator.
What happens when you're engaged or newly married is you're taking one, how a family communicates, and another experience of how another family communicates, and you're molding it together. Learning how to communicate is key in those situations. What
was the most painful part of giving birth? Gosh, I mean, probably just being cut into. Actually, you know, the C-section wasn't terribly painful. I don't know why or how. I'm very thankful for that, but it was not that painful. I would definitely say breastfeeding was more painful than the C-section. Like, that put me into tears more often than the pain from like my scar in the C-section. What's your favorite dessert, babe?
I like milkshakes. Milkshakes are really good. They're probably my go-to dessert. But if somebody's like, Taylor, what kind of cake do you want? Cheesecake. I'll pick cheesecake.
Very good answers. You know, now that you said milkshake, I'm kind of like, ooh, milkshake might be really high up there for me. I think number one, easy, is my mom's frosting. Do you want Wesley to play sports?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get him in all the sports as soon as we can. We'll probably start with soccer, because that's the first sport they can do when they're little, like 3.
We've looked it up. They can start soccer when they're 3, basketball when they're 5, baseball when they're 5. Yep. Football when they're 8.
Yeah.
There's flag football leagues.
So we'll do all of that fun stuff. He can play every single sport till he picks what he wants to do. Did you do any training with your dog? Yes. Even though you wouldn't know it. Just kidding.
We did like basic things at Petco.
We did the Petco classes.
They roped us into it.
It was really fun. I
was
loved
good,
it.
Yeah.
It just didn't, and we did it early, like when he was a couple, like as soon as we brought him home, pretty much. So he was like weeks old.
I wish we would have spent twice as much and gone to a more specialized course.
Maybe when he was a little older.
When he was a little older.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. How has fatherhood been so far?
Man, it's been like everything I imagined it would be. I think being a dad has been really fun. There's nothing that compares to holding your own kid and looking at them in their eyes and like just feeling that that's a part of you and your spouse and the person you love most and what life is all about.
Okay, so that's actually all the questions that we have. If you have more questions for us, you can DM me on Instagram. I posted the little question box on my Instagram before, so that's where some of these questions came from. So if you want to follow me there and be a part of the Q&A next time, then you can